I know that you're in Afghanistan, and I obviously don't want to ask you more than that, but are you safe right now? How do you feel through all this?
I am on the move, so I don't consider it safe, but I keep on moving just for my safety. The minute Kandahar fell, I had to move because that's the only option I had, and so I keep on moving from that day. And my initial response, yes, a few days I have been emotional. I cried. I was very worried. But right now we have to understand that it's a crisis mode, and we have to make sure that we answer the crisis rather than focusing only on the emotional sides of the things.
Can you tell us a little bit what the last few days have been like since the Taliban have taken over the country?
Life is relatively calm. Life is calm, but the Taliban are pressuring the people, right? Like, they have been to people's houses, taken their generators, whatever appliances that they can find, whatever is valuable, they take away, and then they are lying about it on the international media that they are taking weapons. They are not. They're taking everything and anything that they can find. That's the first thing. The second thing is, at the same time, the schools are being closed down. The private schools in Kandahar are closed down right now. Everybody's talking about the fact that, what will the Taliban do? What will their future hold? But what about the normal civilians caught up in the middle of the crossfire,
Yeah, I mean, just day-to-day life. I mean, if there's no government other than one that is rapacious and incompetent.
The public offices are paralyzed right now. The Directorate for Education is paralyzed. Directorate for Healthcare is paralyzed. All these heads, the directors, are all changed from technocrats. People who worked in plan and policy are being changed, and now people who are literally fighters, who are militiamen, who have fought all their lives, military men, are being set as the people who could lead the directorate. I mean, can you expect someone who fought 20 years to be leading an education directorate? I don't think that's practical thing to do, but they are doing it right now. And that's each directorate is for the whole province, and every province has 16 districts, and all those districts has hundreds of villages, right? So you have to understand the crisis mode right now and the way they are handling it are two different things, and at the same time they are not responding well. If they had a plan, if they wanted to run the country, they could have made sure that they have a plan in place, they have a mechanism in place, and they don't have a plan or policy to move further with it. Military men can never do public policy. We all know this.
We've heard a lot of things. I wouldn't necessarily say promises, but a lot of claims from Taliban representatives. For example, that women will still be allowed to go to school through university. First of all, do you think that's credible at all? And secondly, why are the schools closing right now if there isn't any such order?
See, if the schools are closing right now because of their fear, the fear that they might be attacked, that's a relative real fear, right? At the same time, what they promise and what they are doing, two different things. I'll trust them when they say, okay, we have opened up schools, girls can go to schools. We don't have any issues with that. We'll provide security for them. We won't burn down. We won't harass them. Then I'm gonna, accept that as a matter of fact, and I'm gonna say, okay, they have changed. Right now, them saying one thing in Kabul, practicing that in Kabul, there are liberties. People are going out and doing protests. But then, can you imagine the same thing in Kandahar? You will be literally torn into pieces. That's a different scenario right now. People are so scared. I know myself. Children are not going to school. They're abandoning their lessons because they are scared of the Taliban, because they are scared of the people on patrolling on the streets, the Taliban. So you have to understand two different narratives. International media is focused on Kabul. People are in Kabul, so they love talking about Kabul, right? And they're letting things go and slip by. The minute the world has another hot topic, they will impose their law, they will impose their policing, they will police people, and they will control them from what they wear to what they eat to what they dress to what they listen to how they conduct their life.
So who are these these are Afghan citizens, of course, your fellow Afghan citizens. Who are the Taliban to you now?
They are misogynistic, patriarchal bred people and used as instruments by regional powers to wage their wars in Afghanistan. And most importantly, the regional powers are so afraid of the Afghan women, they use the Afghan men to silence the Afghan women. So it's not just that they are fighters and all that. They were also used by the regional powers to be used as to conduct their warfare in Afghanistan.
For the United States, this is the longest war that we've ever been involved in. And we're saying the war's over. Does the war feel over for you in Afghanistan?
The war physically is over, but for rights it's still waging. For people it's still waging. For children it's still waging. For people who want to access education it's still waging. War, yes, bloodshed is one thing, but being suffocated is another thing. Peace means when you are able to live in peace, but at the same time progress in peace. The progress part is not coming in handy right now. So we have to understand that this side of the war, bloodshed is done, but the side where we talk about progress, that's not happening right now.